Welcome to this week's Read the Bible Together session. And we are continuing our series in the Gospel of John, this one with a very familiar story, and it's a miracle. Jesus feeds 5,000. And of course, we are reading from the Spark Bible from Sparkhouse Publishing. And you can follow along in the Gospel of John, chapter 6, verses 1 through 14. So here we go. Jesus feeds 5,000. It was a beautiful sunny day as Jesus and his disciples crossed the Sea of Galilee in a boat with white sails. Jesus had been healing sick people, and many more people of all ages came to see him again that day. Maybe they could hear more of Jesus' stories or see him show God's power through another miracle. And when Jesus saw the large crowd of men, women, and children, he asked his friend Philip, "How are we going to get enough food to feed all these people?" Philip answered, "I could work for 6 months and not have enough money to buy food for all these men, women, and children." And there you go. You can see Jesus and the disciples on the boat and the crowd of people on the edge of the water waiting for him. Have you given a dinner party for a big crowd? Maybe 10 people? Can you imagine 5,000 people? So the story continues. The disciples didn't know what to do. Just then, Andrew pointed to a young child and said, "Here is a boy who has 5 small loaves of bread and 2 fish. It is something, but certainly isn't enough food for all these people." And the boy looked very nervous as he said in a small voice, "Jesus, please take my food if you think it will help." And Jesus took the 5 loaves of bread and the 2 fish that the boy offered and asked his friends to have the crowd sit down. About 5,000 people sat in the grassy meadow by the lake that day. And after Jesus gave thanks to God, he blessed the 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. Then he shared the food with all of the people who were there that day. All 5,000 people ate until they were full. And there you go. See the boy with his basket of bread and fish, and Jesus over here getting ready to bless the food for everyone to eat. Then Jesus said, "Now let's gather up all the leftovers." And do you know what? There were enough leftover pieces of bread to fill 12 large baskets, more loaves and fish left over than the boy had given Jesus. The disciples shook their heads in disbelief as they struggled to pick up the baskets heavy with food. And the people saw the full baskets of food and began to understand that something extraordinary had happened. It was another miracle. And Jesus smiled as he heard people say, "God must have sent Jesus to us." It was a day the boy and the disciples and the people would never forget. And there you go. All of those leftovers, 12 baskets full, when only 1 basket of food was offered. So if you were the boy who gave Jesus the food that day, what would you tell people about what happened, about this miracle? And think about how you can continue this miracle of feeding people this week.